Much love and respect from Chicago. Thank you so
Thanks.
much, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, I've listened to you over the years, and I can't think of any more important subject personally for me than what you're talking about today, especially with the caller, two callers ago. All of them, all your callers are just wonderful, but especially the one before the most recent. Uh, I can't add to anything that you're saying. I just feel mentally driving myself crazy for the same reason the caller two callers ago was, and I don't have anything to add to your conversation except I want to just touch on. I'm at the point where when I go over and over in my mind this issue in my mind over and over again, it's almost like I'm perseverating. I think that's a psychological term. It's like chewing your nails. You just
Mm,
can't stop. You don't even know you're doing it.
yeah.
Um, that that I just realize everything that you've been saying and just let it go. That that there is another explanation and approach to this, and that's everything that you folks were talking about. So my question is, you know, to the degree that we practice that, and I'm at a point now where I'm so frustrated with my circular thinking that I almost have no choice just to let it go and just have faith,
Mm.
And so my question is, I don't know any other word to use but payoff. Well, what's the payoff? I think you mentioned it a little bit, but you won't pay so much attention to these things, and maybe what you feel you're lacking, and that you're just constantly going over in your mind this, and it creates a sense of lack that that will be replaced by your recognition that you're not in lack.
I'm sorry, I got confused as to what the question was. Like, can you just
Yeah, me
repeat that?
too.
Yeah,
I'm just blabbing away here.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think you are. I think that I just missed something.
what's the payoff to practicing and letting go of this when in your mind you think that there's a solution to your dilemma, and it requires more thinking, more doing, and what's the payoff to practicing letting that go, having faith in the unfolding of your
Yeah,
future.
it depends. It depends because everybody is set up differently. So, um,
Yeah,
like what I was suggesting to the caller, I think 2 calls ago, was I was talking about becoming more conscious of what's underneath the thought and go
yeah,
into the feeling and recognize what is that deep feeling. But that's not always the case for everybody. There can be obsessive thinking, which is actually an area in the brain which is just like obsessively thinking.
hmm,
And that's not really connected to feelings are so much in the body as it's just like obsessive thoughts that get turned on. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not. Like it's something we would have to explore in more detail. The other one is like is patterns of stories that keep coming up, and then they've got emotions underneath them. And the payoff of doing that is that you relax I believe that you relax the person more through doing that, but not everybody. Like I said, like it depends a little. Like there can be obsessive thinking that's not related to emotions. It's just like OCD thinking, which is a different matter altogether. But there can be this thinking which is related to emotion. Like you get an emotion that comes up, and then you have a pattern or a story which is a typical story of yours, which goes back to the emotion. And then by going back to the emotion, you relax the thinking and you experience the emotion. You really experience the emotion. Like that's what most people don't want to do and spend their life trying to avoid, is experiencing their emotion, because the emotion is uncontrollable and the emotion is painful. So it's just allowing that emotion to be experienced in the body, like feeling that emotion, and then also seeing that it's not true, the story you're telling yourself. When you're just in the thoughts, deep down you believe and you're confirming that that story's true. So say if you feel unlovable and you're thinking, I hate that person because they're an asshole, but really you feel unlovable. Like when you're just trying to let go of that thought or just battling on the thought level, you deep down are still believing that that energy underneath, that you're unlovable, is true. But as you begin to see that feeling that's in your body, and you really experience it, you also see that that's not true. So in this moment, like, so you're arguing with someone, in this moment I feel profoundly unlovable. So it's noticing that, and then through noticing it, you'll notice it more when it appears in your life. So it'll also change your external life. And noticing that that's not true, that's not the truth, and that you are the opposite. You are absolutely lovable. So it's noticing this. This is going to settle down. This is what I believe will settle down the person. It will make their external and internal life more healthy, I feel. They'll be able to navigate their life better, and they'll be able to understand what they're up to, like in every moment. And it's also like becoming profoundly conscious of the body and what the body is doing. And then as the person relaxes more, my theory is, but also it's proved wrong lots of times by examples like Byron Katie and Eckhart Tolle, is that as the person settles down, there is less seeking. And when there is less seeking, then there's more possibility of that energetic shift. It's a little bit like when you fall in love with someone. Like, the reason that it's so beautiful is because when you fall in love, you feel like you've arrived, and so your seeking dissipates. And many times people have awakening when they fall in love, or when they take LSD, which gives them an experience of falling in love. So to me, what's happening is you're reducing seeking in really knowing what your body is saying and what your body wants. Which you could also say is like the unconscious in a way as well, but it's like in the body. So the payoff is reducing seeking and leaving yourself more open to non-duality. So if someone's really seeking, then it's impossible for them to hear what is beyond non-duality because they're so contracted in their story. So that's my theory.
Yeah. Well,
but I also know that it can be contradicted, because I know there's many stories where somebody suffers so immensely and so deeply, and then they have a shift. So I know that there is contradictions to that, but it's just, what comes here to be expressed. It's not the truth, like everything, but it comes here to be expressed. But that's different from talking about OCD thinking. OCD thinking, like if you keep focusing on OCD thinking, then that's, I don't think, the best way. I think that you need to go to someone that's an expert in that.
Yeah, I don't think I was referring to myself as that, but I am referring to myself as the seeking, seeking something. And it just resonates so deeply what I'm hearing you talk about, that I just want to let go of it and just have faith.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
But it's like in every moment being really conscious. Like, are you really conscious of what your body wants now? You might be conscious of what your mind wants, but are you really conscious of what your body is saying to you? Like, so with me and my teacher, we went through this stage of, like, in every given moment, doing exactly what you feel like doing. And what that means is, like, really knowing what your body is asking for and not asking for, like really knowing what it's saying to you. Like paying deep attention to the body.
I'm going to go back and listen to your last week on surrender. I think that probably that would be a supplement to what you're talking about now.
But you didn't answer my question. You didn't want to answer my question?
Please ask it again, please.
Yes.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. What my body, as it relates to my searching or how I feel as I'm mulling over this. Yeah.
So I would say that there's two conversations going on here. There is the conversation which is mind-led, and then there's a conversation which is body led. So your body is saying something now, but can you hear it? Like, have you put your attention into your body to hear what your body's saying? A lot of the time people don't want to go there because the body is uncomfortable, or because they've completely cut it off and they can't physiologically feel it.
So how do you do that? I mean, I do very intense meditation. I love meditation. I've been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
And my body just feels a lot all day long. I have a lot of energy running through it. How am I doing that? I do feel kind of depressed sometimes, or sad, or like a loss. I don't know if that's mental or my body.
Mm.
I'm one of the most positive people in the world, the most spiritual person in the world. I've worked my ass off for it, and yet I just can't imagine why I would feel lack, or a lot of fears and things like that, and lacking. And I just want to, instead of trying to solve it, I've got to the point where I realize it's all everything that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's the true freedom is beyond the body, so it's that which is watching. So that's the true freedom. Um, the and maybe you do feel, and it's just like a different language. So maybe you really do feel. It's just like, so say for example now, like in relating to me, there might be like anxiety or fear of not being good enough or something. This is not talking about you. I'm just giving an example so you could like be creative with it. But on the surface, you might not recognize that. So on the surface, you might be totally involved in what I'm saying and listening really intently. But underneath, in say your heart or your solar plexus, you might feel like that you're not good enough. But that's a feeling that arises inside your body. And it's like a story that's arising inside your body. And then it will activate and push your thoughts and your way of being in a certain way. So that's just but that you might have already done that from 20 years of meditation. You might be really in contact with your body and your sensations, and so you might already know what your body is saying, and it's just that you're maybe like looking at now, like feeling insecure, like now when I'm saying it, you're like, I don't know if I have done that.
Well, you're right. Right now, I'm just intently focused on what you're saying, but I do often ask myself what's at the very deep level of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
talking
do.
about. Yeah.
So I do practice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the true freedom beyond that is that which is experiencing all that. So that which knows the person that's doing that, that which knows the feeling in the heart. And that is beyond that. That is
Well,
the
that's a
silence
deep
which
one.
is
That's a deep
looking,
one. I'll think about. Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you, Layard, for calling. Yeah.
Love you, Lisa.
Yeah,
Thank you
love
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Layard.
Bye.
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 I could hear I didn't say it, Layard, but I could hear your cat in the background. Meow, meow. It's sweet. There is a reference page on my website where you can look and you can find other material of different things that you can look at. Yeah, nice. I wish you all everything, and just be conscious that everything that I say in time is always changing, and it's not exactly truth. It's not this is the way it is, like this is right. So if I give advice or if I give practices or anything like that, that's not really the way it is. Even the way I express it, like you can't really express it. So just notice that look at it at the bigger picture. Like I am not speaking like the right words that will lead you to enlightenment. All of that's in your mind. All of that's fantasy. And everything that I give on the practice level or not practice level, again, is all in words. And you can never really quite touch on something. So to me, like the wisdom comes with like staying open. The most important part is listening to non-duality, resonating with it, and then staying open and going deeper into your experience. Like what's happening right now, right now, right now.